Hey, my feel good friend, and welcome back to another episode of the Feel Good Social podcast, episode 99. Actually, this is insane. I cannot believe that we are coming in hot on episode 100 and 30,000 downloads. Like, what the heck? This is insane. But I am so grateful for you for tuning in. I am so grateful that this journey has been what it has been and all these things. It is so amazing to be coming in on episode 100. We're about to be in the triple digits, my friend. It's crazy. So thank you so much for popping me into your earbuds today. I am so excited to chat with you about today's topic as well, because my friend, we are going to school for selling. I was thinking about that before this episode, before I started recording, and I was like, should I say it? Yeah, I'm going to say it. It sounded as dorky as I thought it would. But today I am chatting about a topic that is a little bit next level, but it's really important information to understand, not only for improving your messaging, but also for speaking directly to your ideal customers, meeting them where they're at, and also making them feel comfortable with their decision to buy from you, making it a hell yes instead of a I guess so maybe when it comes to buying from you. Today we are going to be chatting about how you can use your ideal customers' specific motivations to overcome their specific objections when it comes to buying what you're selling, right? So I can't wait to dive right in. This is going to really help you improve your messaging and also hopefully help you to boost sales as we move through this holiday season and into the new year and beyond. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. Hey, friend, and welcome to the Feel Good Social podcast. I'm your host, Kinsey, and I'm here to help you market your business in a genuine way that works without wasting your precious time. On this show, we chat about social media strategy and mindset tips with a focus on, you guessed it, feeling good. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some genuine conversation for the good of your biz. All right, my feel good friend. Before we do dive in, I just want to remind you, if you enjoy the Feel Good Social podcast and you love the episodes that you're listening to and all of those things, I absolutely adore when my listeners share these episodes to their Instagram stories and tag me so I can see. I'm at Feel Good Social on Instagram. I would love for you to share this, and then make sure that you just tag me at Feel Good Social so that I can see it and reshare it to my stories, connect with you over there. You know, I would love to do that. I get so excited whenever I see these episodes being shared and I get to connect with my listeners like you. So if you enjoy it, I really hope that you share it. And if you don't feel like sharing it to your Instagram stories, then maybe just share it with another biz buddy who also could use to hear this, because I'm planning on just like laying it all out, really diving deep into your messaging when it comes to selling. And I think that this episode is going to be super helpful. So make sure you share it with a friend as well and just spread a little love, right? Okay, let's go ahead and talk about Selling 101, speaking to your ideal customers' motivations to overcome their objections, okay? And I probably should have like labeled this Selling 201 or something. This is a little bit next level, okay? So as I'm speaking, I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. If you start feeling overwhelmed and like your brain is spinning, turn off the podcast, take a break, come back to it. Yes, I'm telling you to just hit pause, which is kind of weird. But, I know that this topic, you might need to mull it over a little bit. It might be kind of like a big picture topic for you, which is fine, right? I actually do want to recommend that you get out a notebook and a piece of paper and just jot some notes down as I'm speaking, just so you can keep your thoughts organized and you don't feel overwhelmed by this. You can actually see how this will help you improve your messaging, right? So just a thought. It is a little next level, but speaking to your customers' motivations and objections are seriously like so helpful for not only helping you boost sales and actually getting your customers to buy from you, but also, like I said in the intro, helping your customers feel more comfortable with their decision to buy from you, right? This episode is actually inspired by my client, Tanya, my one-on-one coaching client, Tanya. She is so awesome, you guys. She's a mindset coach and she's been on the podcast a few times. So definitely go back and find her episodes and whatnot. But she is currently selling a group coaching program for the first time. She's got 6 spots. She's been speaking to different women and all these things. She's gotten a lot of interest, but she's also gotten a little bit of hesitation, which is totally normal whenever you're selling anything, especially programs that feel like a bigger investment for your ideal customers, right? And so we were chatting on Voxer earlier today, and she was saying how she was speaking to this woman who she'd worked with before, who sings her praises, who has seen awesome results with her. But she was speaking to her about the group coaching program specifically, and the woman was like, "Oh man, this sounds so amazing, but," right? But whatever the heck comes after the but, my friend, that is a customer objection. Okay. So that is what we're going to be talking about today, is how to recognize these objections and prepare yourself to speak directly to these objections, and also tell your customers why these objections aren't as like big of a deal as they're making them out to be in their head, right? And it's not manipulative is the point that I was trying to make. And then I went off on a sidetrack about how this episode was inspired by the wonderful Tanya. Some people, especially when you're just starting out and selling and you're kind of new to selling and all these things, we worry about coming across as sleazy. We worry about coming across as manipulative. And here's the thing, there are definitely manipulative ways to sell out there. There's definitely like a fine line between a lot of these strategies that you're hearing people talk about when it comes to selling, right? But I do want to say that what I'm sharing today and like speaking to people's objections and motivations and all of these things, it actually isn't that manipulative, or I don't think it is manipulative. It possibly could be if you are doing it from a place of lying or from like not a good place in your heart, right? But this is something that you can totally do from a place of logic, from a place of empathy, from a place of compassion, from a heart place that feels good to you, and that can also actually be helpful for your ideal customer, right? That's the point I was trying to make, is that speaking to your ideal customer's objections and reminding them of their motivations, it doesn't have to be manipulative. It can actually be helpful for you, and it can be helpful for your ideal customer, because instead of like hesitantly hitting the buy button, hesitantly saying yes, and then being afraid that you're going to regret it and all these things, which isn't comfortable for your ideal customer. And that's not exactly the kind of yes you want to get either, right? Instead of that, if you speak to these things in an honest, real place coming from your heart, it will not only, get you the sale, you'll feel good about it. And then also it'll actually make your ideal customer feel better about their purchase decision, right? So I just wanted to address that real quick before I dive in. So I already kind of spoke to this, but the first thing I wanted to really quickly cover is what the heck I'm talking about when I say your ideal customer's objections and motivations. So like I kind of explained with my Tanya example, objections are what pop up for you whenever your customers are hesitating to buy from you, right? It's the reason that they don't hit that buy button, even though they're interested in your offer, right? Even though they would love to buy your offer. Anytime we go to buy something, especially if it feels like an investment for us, we have hesitations, right? We have little voices in our head that pop up saying, is this really worth it for me? Do I have enough money for this? Do I have enough time for this right now? Is this actually going to help me? Those are all objections. And those are actually what I just listed, very, very common objections across the board, no matter what you're selling, right? The most common objections that we all run into are money is a big one. Can I afford this? Time. Do I have enough time to commit to this? And then also like, is this actually going to work for me? Will this actually help me? Is this actually worth it for me? Those are the three most common objections that I see and that I hear other people talking about across the board, no matter what industry you're in. So definitely keep those in mind as we talk about what the heck your ideal customer's objections are and how you can help them overcome them. Time, money, is this actually going to help me? Those are three objections that your ideal customers probably have. And there may be more specifically for your ideal customers, right? So the first thing I want you to do is really brainstorm, what are my ideal customers' objections? Okay. This might be different depending on your different offers, right? You might have different objections for different offers if you're offering different services throughout different times of the year, or if you have different kind of ideal customers, or if you have different offers that are speaking to your ideal customers in different parts of their journey, right? Like objections for someone who is very, very new to marketing, maybe joining the Feel Good Social Club is probably going to be different for me when we get into the nitty gritty specific details of it versus someone's objection who is trying to hire me as a one-on-one content client or a one-on-one coaching client, right? So it's really, really important to think about these objections. What are they? Probably money, time. Is this worth it for me? Maybe more things. And then also, what are the specific experiences that my ideal clients are having for each of my different offers, right? Because they can look a little bit different. And it's really, really important to get into the head of your ideal customer, where they are at, and speak specifically to their experiences, where they are at for your specific offers. Okay, so remember that. So we're going to be brainstorming objections that might be popping up for you. I even want to encourage you to think back to customers that you have had and spoken to in the past, right? And like, why were they hesitating to buy from you, right? Get into their head, think back to those times and think specifically, what did they say to me that they were like, oh, I would love to do this, but I'm worried about money, or my life is so crazy right now. I don't think I'm going to have time. Or, I think that this is an amazing offer, but I don't know if this is what I need, right? Like, what specifically did people say to you for your different offers? Okay, think about this. This is so, so important because I can give you all of the general strategy, my friend, when it comes to these things, objections, motivations, pain points, pleasure points, messaging, all this stuff. But I'm giving you the golden rules, okay? And this is what I told Tanya earlier too. I'm going to share my golden rule with you in a second, but this is what I shared with Tanya. It's like, I can give you the overlying golden rules, but it's up to you to think specifically about your business and your ideal customers, okay? So really dive deep. And for example, with Tanya, she is a mindset coach for working moms. So her clients' specific objections are, of course, time, money, is this actually going to help me? Are three, that we all pretty much have. But specifically for her, for working mothers, they have specific objections when it comes to time and money, right? Like, specifically for working mothers, time has to do with trying to manage the kids, like running around all the time and get to work on time and stay focused at work and then get home and make dinner for everyone and then have to put the kids to bed and then get up in the next morning and do it all over again. It just feels you're running on a hamster wheel, like from work to home, all the places. You feel unfocused in all those different places. Like, you don't have time for much else when you're a working mom, right? But that's how you get specific with your customer. If someone was speaking to me, I don't have kids to manage, at least not yet. I have dogs, dog mom over here, but they are definitely not as demanding as human children. Believe me, I respect to the working moms out there. But, like, someone wouldn't say that to me specifically with that messaging because I'm not a working mother. I'm a working dog mom. Sure. They could say, I know what it's like to have to take the dogs out to pee every morning. But yeah, anyway, probably don't want to use that for messaging for me either. But for me, depending on what you would be selling, you might want to speak to me as an entrepreneur and say, I know what it's like to try to show up in your business every day online and try to manage all your clients and also manage your own content and try to organize all of these things in your head all the time, blah, blah, blah. Like that is a time specific messaging for someone like me, right? So think about your ideal customers. What are the objections? And what specifically can you speak to when it comes to those objections? What experiences, what are they experiencing in their life that is going to speak to those objections, right? So think about that, my friend. That is what objections are. What is stopping your ideal customers from buying from you? And then there are motivations, okay? And motivations can look different for your ideal customers versus someone else's ideal customers. Different people, different of your ideal customers can actually have different motivations as well, right? And your motivations are basically what is the driving force behind their reason to want to buy from you, right? Your motivations are your desires, your customers' desires to hit that buy button. Why do they want this thing that you're offering, right? Real quick, have I invited you to join the Feel Good Social Club yet? Oh man, my friend, I would love for you to check out our new monthly membership for down to earth entrepreneurs who are ready to create content with ease, actually show up and strategically market your business online every month, and also make friends with rad down to earth entrepreneurs who are just like you, who get it, who are in the posting trenches with you, and who are ever ready to give you a friendly air high five or kick in the accountability booty whenever you need it. The Feel Good Social Club is where it is at. Check it out, feelgoodsocial.com/club. In the club, we have a content library full of Canva templates and tutorials and resources to help you make content creation as easy as possible. We also have monthly content planning workshops where we all come together and talk about the upcoming month's strategy for our content. And we also have community forums where you can get together, ask questions of other club members, brainstorm ideas, ask for feedback. So definitely check it out, feelgoodsocial.com/club. Our Feel Good members are seriously some of the most amazing people that I have ever met. And I would love for you to join us, feelgoodsocial.com/club. Check it out. Join today. We would love to see you in there, my friend. All right, let's dive back into today's episode. And so I was speaking about this with Tanya as a working mom, that those are her ideal customers. And, her group coaching program specifically is talking about the focus of the group coaching program is how to balance your work life and your home life, how to manage your time better, how to find more joy in your life and have more focus in both areas, right? As a working mother. And so for her specifically, her clients probably have, I was brainstorming with her earlier, 3 motivations ish, right? Probably more, but we're going to use 3 for now. When it comes to her group coaching program, the motivation that they would want to join the program, since it's specifically aimed at kind of time management for working mothers, is, either their main motivation is finding more success at work, but also having to deal with family life and all of those things and feeling like you just don't have time to put in the focus and energy that you want to see to climb the ladder at work because you have to do all these things with your family and you love it, sure, but it still takes up so much time and it's so hard. If their motivation is work, then that's what they would be thinking, right? Or their motivation could be family. And they could think, oh man, I just want to spend a lot of time with my family. I want to be present with my kids as they're growing up and all these things. But I have this job and I have to, show up at work and do all these work and get into work mode. And then I come home and it's hard to turn off my work brain and actually be present with my kids. And then I feel guilty about it, right? So if her ideal customer's motivation is family, then that's probably the messaging that she should use with those specific customers, right? And then maybe she has customers that really, they care about both fairly equally, and they really just feel like they need to find the balance in the middle, right? Maybe it's for themselves more so. Maybe themselves is the motivation. I'm actually just thinking about that right now. But basically, yeah, like motivations can look different depending on what your ideal customer cares about the most, right? And so it's important to brainstorm the possibilities for all of these different motivations they could have. What is the driving force behind why they want to buy this thing, right? Specifically for your working mother or your ideal customers. For Tanya, it's working mothers, and really think about like the different reasons why people would want to buy from you, right? So I really want to encourage you right now to think about your different offers and think about your ideal customers and brainstorm what are the different motivations that they could really have? Like, what are they experiencing in their life right now? And what do they care about the most that would make them want to buy this thing, right? And again, you'll probably have multiple viewpoints and multiple answers because people are different, right? We all have different motivations in our lives, and that's awesome and that's okay. And no matter what your customers' motivations are, great. We just need to make sure that we are brainstorming all of the possibilities and then meeting them where they're at and speaking to those motivations. Okay. So I really want you to brainstorm. What are the various reasons that my ideal customers would want to buy this thing? Put yourself in their mindset, put yourself into their head and think about this, like from their point of view. What is driving their decision to buy from you? And what are the objections that they have that could make them hesitate to buy from you as well? It is later in the afternoon when I'm recording this podcast episode, my friend. And so I've been having trouble speaking today already. And so if I'm tripping over my words, I do apologize. But hey, I'm human. We all are, right? Okay, so now that you understand what I mean by objections and what I mean by motivations, and you've brainstormed those for your ideal customers and for your different specific offers, now let's talk about why it really is so important, once again, to understand what these are and then how you can use them to overcome the objections, right? So it's important to understand your ideal customer in general, because then you can speak directly to them. You can relate to them emotionally. You can get to their level and really just get real with them and have real conversations with them about why they need to buy from you and how you can help them, right? And specifically, when you're speaking to your ideal customers and speaking to their objections and motivations, these are like two sides of the seesaw or whatever. They like go together, right? It's almost part of like using the transformational language that is really, really helpful when it comes to selling. If you can speak to someone's transformation, which is their pain points, the challenges that they're going through, the objections that pop up for them, but also what they want and where they could be after working with you. That is so powerful in any part of your messaging, content, anything like that, right? Transformation stories are the backbone of storytelling. It's why we watch Hollywood movies. It's why, we love to read books and all of these things. Transformation journeys are just amazing, right? We love them as humans. We're addicted to them, right? And so that's kind of what we're doing here, right? So when it comes to selling, if you can speak directly to your ideal customer's objections, say, I hear you. I know that it's the holiday season right now. We're worried about money. We're all spending. And you probably feel like you don't have time to really invest in this right now. Like, totally get it. But, here's where your butt comes in. Then you speak about how they can overcome that objection based on their specific motivations, right? But I do realize that you really want to excel in the workplace right now, and you're feeling like you want to get that promotion, but you're not able to really balance and manage your time with your family and all of these things. This program will help you to really create a mindset where you can manage your time more easily. You can focus in the workplace. You can show up with more confidence for your boss. And this will really help you to get that promotion and end up generating more income for your family, right? Like that's how you speak to people's objections, help them overcome the objections with their specific motivations. And I might be going a little bit deep in in this episode, but I hope that you're finding this helpful because it can be very, very powerful. If, for example, with Tanya's client, we were speaking to someone whose objection was time and then their motivation was their family focused more so, then I would speak to them in a different way, right? I would say, I hear you. Like it is so, so hard to like manage your family and balance that with work and all of these things. Like you go to work, you get into the work zone and you have to come home and deal with your family and you really want to be present, but you can't turn off your work brain. And it's hard to, cool down. And then by the time you can finally relax, your kids have already gone to bed and you feel like you're missing out on the little moments because they're growing up so fast. Like I get it. And that's why this program can really help you to manage your time better right now. So you can start finding joy in your life. You can be present with your kids. You can also stay focused at work, but set boundaries with yourself so you don't have to, I don't know what I was going to say. But anyway, I think you get it, right? This is why I'm using Tanya as such an example because I literally was just boxering her and I was very stoked on the conversation that we were having. I geek out about messaging and all of these things and how you can sell in a way that isn't sleazy, right? And it's not manipulative. It's just being real, being real with your ideal customers and really understanding them and listening to them. And then also just helping them feel better about their purchase decision. Okay. So that is why this is so important. When you understand your ideal customer's objections and motivations, you can speak to those objections in a way that makes sense to them and help them feel more comfortable buying from you by reminding them of their motivation and why their objection, they can overcome it, right? So now, how do we use this information in your business? Okay. So first things first, this is the most powerful when you are having one-on-one conversations with your ideal customers. Okay. I want to encourage you to start having these conversations with your ideal customers, no matter what industry you're in and whatnot. Just having conversations being like, I would love to know how you're feeling before you decide to buy from me or whatever. Or like maybe you are actually having a sales conversation, which is awesome. And you are just really, really listening and paying attention to what your ideal customers say. Okay. In one-on-one conversations, this is so, so helpful because all you have to do is remember the golden rule. Listen to your ideal customers and pay attention to their specific objections. What is holding them back from saying yes? And also listen to their specific motivations. What are they saying that they really want? Why do they want this? And then in one-on-one conversations, it is very, very easy to say, I hear you. I hear that this is something that you're concerned about, and that's totally legitimate. But, I also hear that this is what you want. And by enrolling in this program or buying this product or whatever it is, you can actually create what you want. Okay. This objection is real, but also through this service, through this offer, through this product, you will be able to create that vision of what you want. I truly believe that. And I think that now is the time to go ahead and do this. So you're not just spinning your wheels continuously for longer. You're here for a reason. You want to buy this for a reason. Let's make it happen so you don't have to keep hemming and hawing over things, hemming and hawing in your life, being the same person that you're not necessarily happy with right now, right? Like these are things that we can do, right? And if you can listen to your customer's specific motivations and objections and speak directly to them in a real conversation, you can make them feel better about buying from you. Now, this isn't only usable in one-on-one conversations, okay? This is where we incorporate social media, my friend. I know that this is a feel-good social podcast, so we're getting to the social media content, okay? And also emails, right? When you brainstorm your ideal customers' objections and motivations for yourself, and also by paying attention through having one-on-one conversations with your ideal customers, you can create content around these things, okay? This is Very, very powerful if you are in a highly promotional period in your business, if you are launching something, if you're selling something, anything like that. Like definitely create posts around objections and also motivations. Okay. But this is also just great to remind your ideal customers of on a Tuesday, on a random Tuesday or whatever, right? But this sort of content is awesome. And you can do it by, creating maybe a carousel post that's saying like, what's stopping you from yada, 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 whatever your product can help people achieve, right? What's stopping you from buying from me, basically. But I don't know if I would say that specifically, but say, what's stopping you from creating the life of your dreams? That might be a little bit, dorky, but still, you get it. What's stopping you from whatever? Carousel slide 3 objections. Is it time? Don't worry. Then tell them how to overcome the objection. Is it money? Tell them how to overcome the objection. Is it that you're not sure if this is right for you? Tell them how to overcome the objection, okay? Makes great carousel posts. It also makes great storytelling transformation posts, right? So have you been wanting to sign up for this thing, but you feel like you might not have the time for it? I totally get it. This is a busy season in our lives right now. But if you don't take a little bit of time right now to make changes so that you are able to manage your time better, then you'll just be stuck where you are for the next year. You'll be feeling how you're feeling for the next year. How about instead we make a few small changes, you enroll in my program, and you start working toward that life that you want, right? Like that could be a social media caption. A little bit better than what I just spitballed with you, right? But I think that you get it at this point. Objections and motivations, understanding what those specifically are for your ideal customers and specifically for your different offers, if you have different offers, right? It's really, really great to understand that, because not only does it help you when it comes to one-on-one conversations, maybe someone sends you an email, right? They're like, I've been looking at this service that you have. I've been looking at this product that you have. I've been looking at this offer that you have, but I'm just not sure, like this is great stuff to be aware of when you get those emails or those DMs, right? Or those comments on your post, right? And also you can be proactive and create content around this to help customers just overcome objections that maybe they didn't even realize they had, right? So this is how you can next level your messaging, my friend, next level your selling skills, make your customers feel more comfortable with their decision to buy from you, and also just become a better at selling, from the heart. Again, these are real conversations and you're making your customers feel more comfortable by buying from you, right? So I hope that you enjoyed this episode. It was a little bit next level, more than just like social media content pillars and whatnot. But don't worry, I'm also creating future episodes with, more social media focused stuff. I like to mix it up and whatnot. And I hope that you come back next year for episode 100 of the Feel Good Social podcast. I cannot believe we are almost there, my friend. It is so, so exciting. I am so, so grateful for you to be in your earbuds every week. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will catch you next time I catch you. Thanks so much for listening, my friend. For show notes and a whole lot of other awesome freebies, visit feelgoodsocial.com. Simply go to feelgoodsocial.com for all the goods.